What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to UrbanPointFilms. Welcome back to TRAINRIDE'S Disused Stations. This is the second episode that we'll be uploading on this series, and we are in Caerleon. We're in Caerleon, and we're going down to Caerleon Station, or at least the remains of Caerleon Station, which is the building. Is now a veterinary surgery, but it is still on the Welsh Marshes line, heading up towards North Wales, got Shrewsbury, Craven Arms, Cwmbran, Pontypool. So this station here, the veterinary surgery, this station was opened in December 1874 by the Caerleon, Pontypool and Newport Railway. It was then absorbed into the Great Western Railway, and it closed down in 1962. There have been plans to reopen this station as part of the rail strategy by Transport for Wales. It was originally started by Newport City Council and the SUTA rail strategy in 2006. But yeah, this is what remains of the old station today. You can see the line is literally there. Don't know what you can see. Yeah, this is the
Caerleon Railway Station is a former station serving Caerleon on the east side of the city of Newport, UK, and a proposed future station as part of the South Wales Metro. The station was opened by the Pontypool, Caerleon and Newport Railway on the 21st of December 1874. This came after the absorption of the Pontypool Company by the Great Western Railway. The station closed to passengers on the 30th of April 1962 and to all traffic on the 29th of November 1965. The site is now a mixed-use business premises including a gym, MOT centre and veterinary clinic. The Newport City Council Unitary Development Plan and SUTA Rail Strategy in 2006 set out plans for the station to be reopened. Assessments by Capita Simmons in 2010 evaluated the cost of the project as £14.1 million.
As you can see, it's now a veterinary surgery. Yeah, this was it. This was the old station building of Caerleon. So you can see where the old access to the platforms was. See, network rail, this is a patrolled area. Oh, he's back again, is he? So as you can see, they're closed at the minute, but this is the vets. Caerleon Veterinary Surgery is what this building is now. So yeah, I think we're going to move on to our next location. I'll see you all in a bit. Guys, we're at our next station, our next disused station. You might be wondering, hang on, this is not a disused station, this is Pye Corner. Reason we're here, this station was built in December 2014 to replace the original Baysleg Junction station, which is actually visible from the platform. So if we go down to the end of the platform, you can see the site of the original Baysleg Junction, which was opened by the Monmouthshire Railway and Canal Company in 1850. Another station that was a subject to the beaching cuts. So I forgot which date it closed, I believe. So the station closed to goods traffic. The station officially closed on the 30th of April 1962, leaving the line to remain open for goods traffic. So the station closed down. The line was still reopened. This line was still open for goods traffic, and passenger services were restored on this line around. I believe it first started running. That was 2014. Don't quote me on this. If I'm wrong, I will put the correction on screen. But yes, we're at Pye Corner, just close to the original Baysleg Junction, which I will show you just now, guys. I will get some shots on my DSLR with this one. Had some guy having a go at me at the last one. I'm sure we won't get that at Pie Corner, so yeah, we'll have a little show for you guys.
Baysleg Junction Station was opened by the Monmouthshire Railway and Canal Company in 1850 and initially opened under the name Rumney Junction. It was often pronounced Baysleg. The Brecon and Merthyr Railway established its main running shed at Baysleg. Trains to and from the Nettlefolds Works had to reverse beside it. The premises were in use from 1887 to 1939, when the Air Ministry took over. Northern Aluminium used them after World War II. The engine shed closed in March 1929. There was a 31 lever signal box which closed on the 10th of May 1966. Many trains that passed through the high level station were the newer running services to Pontypridd via Caerphilly. The low level platforms ran services on the Western Valley Line, which was operated by the Monmouthshire Railway and Canal Company and later Great Western Railway. A new station was later opened on the former Western Valley Line, which became the Ebbw Valley Railway, known as Pie Corner, which opened on the 14th of December 2014. This is located close to the former Western Valley Line platforms at Baysleg Junction. The original station closed in April 1962. Monmouthshire Canal Company's tram road was built in 1824. An inscription is carved in the central pillar on the south side that says Rumney Railway 1826. This is possibly the oldest surviving engineering work of the Rumney tram road and probably the oldest railway bridge in the world carrying full loads. The viaduct is currently a mineral line serving the Macon quarries.
Righty guys, we are at our next disused station now. We are at Rhudain. So yeah, there's still quite a bit here. There's still a line here, but no passenger trains actually run on this line anymore. So this line basically now is only used for freight, mainly for the cement quarry, which is up in Macon. But yeah, you've still got the level crossing here, you've got the old station buildings. But yeah, Rhudain station, you know, this village could do with having a railway station again. Although it's not that far from Pie Corner, but this line has had plans to restore it for passenger service to get up to Caerphilly and connect a service with Newport and Caerphilly. So yeah, if I bring up a bit of history of Rhudain station.
Rhudain Station was opened by the Brecon and Merthyr Railway in 1865. The station had two platforms with a large stone building on one side and a wooden shelter on the other. The station had no footbridge and passengers crossed via a level crossing. Staffing levels at the station were at 5 in 1923, but only 2 after 1933. There was no station staff after 1952, and trains ceased to call after the 16th of September 1957, goods included. However, sources state the station closed to freight on the 14th of September 1959. The station did have a 12-lever signal box that lasted until the 20th of November 1967. It was acquired by the Caerphilly Railway Society, and it was later moved to Caerphilly and taken to the Typhy Valley Railway, where it remains to this day.
So that has been Rhudain. We are now going to head to the next disused station. Right, we're at our next disused station of Newport, which is just over there. Apparently I was just speaking to some of the people in the pub, emailing, and they were just telling me, some of the staff in there, and they were just telling me they used to have a picture up in the pub. I would have got it if they had it up, but they're doing a bit of redecorating in the minute. But they used to have a pub at the old railway station at Marshfield, So yeah, friendly people, so I would recommend going to Emerin. It looks like a nice family friendly pub, and there's a train, HST, going by. Oh, it's a perfect spot for train spotters, train enthusiasts around this area. If you want to come down with your camera and get some shots of the trains, and you want a bit of old station history as well, come down to Marshfield. Yeah, Marshfield station, it is on the South Wales main line between Newport and Cardiff, well, between London and Swansea actually it goes. So which you can go through Cardiff to Cardiff on the main South Wales main line through to Cardiff Central from London Paddington, which is currently running. And you've got the disused stations in between, this being one of them. We'll bring up a bit of history on Marshfield station. So, Marshfield station, $2.50 for that Coke. It's worth it. Get a bit of history as well, a bit of info. Oh shit, it's narrow up here, isn't it? Right. Look at it, it's so narrow. Oh. Dangerous bit of road this. I'm going to cross over. Make sure we're facing the traffic. Bring ourselves up here to the top to do the history. Look at this. Needs to be a public footpath here. Oh, dangerous. There's the pub down there. You got the lorry yard as well, which is owned by Balfour Beatty apparently. Oh, up we go. Up we go, up we go. Cross over to this side. So as you can see,
Marshfield Station was opened on the 19th of June 1850 as part of the South Wales Railway. The station opened along with the line. The service at Marshfield was always quite modest, with just 3 trains per day in 1869. Relief trains at Marshfield were completed in stages between 1896 and 1898. The station had 13 to 14 employees in the 1930s. Marshfield had 2 platforms, each with a brick building. The buildings had wooden awnings to provide shelter. There was a 39-lever signal box which opened in 1897 and closed in 1963. The station closed to passengers on the 10th of August 1959 and to goods on the 4th of January 1965. There is now no longer any station in the area, although plans are currently in place to build new stations nearby under the South Wales Metro scheme.
Alright guys, we are at our next disused station in Newport. This is Newport'a Junction. Just walking up to it now. Gonna get some shots, gonna do a bit of history about it, and we're gonna move on to our next one. So, let's get up some info. There's the Gwent, up there, the Royal Gwent Hospital, which was the main A&E hospital for the region. Now they've opened up the Grange University Hospital in Cwmbran. But we're not here to talk about hospitals, we're here to talk about disused stations, disused lines, disused railways. So let's get into it guys. So we're going to bring up Newport'a Junction.
Newport'a Station was originally selected as an alternative station to Dock Street and for supporting facilities, where there was sufficient land available for development. Just west of the junction between Cardiff Road and Mendlegeef Road, just north of where the Whitehead Steelworks would be built in later years, alongside Cardiff Road, giving good access. By December 1850, the Monmouthshire Canal and Railway Company was ready to introduce a locomotive-drawn passenger service from the temporary terminus at Newport'a to Blaenau. An engine shed had been built at Newport'a to maintain the 8 new engines which had arrived some 18 months before the new service. All the lines were fenced in and all level crossings where the railway met the highway were gated. New carriages had arrived from Smith and Willey of Liverpool, composed of first, second and third class compartments. Aberbeek opened the same year as part of this development. The temporary Newport'a station opened on Saturday the 25th of December 1850 when an inaugural train ran at 10 a.m. to Blaina and returned to Portobello, arriving at 4 p.m. With the actual service starting on the Monday, 2 service trains ran daily in both directions with a journey time of 2 hours. The service started up with a train up from Blaina to Newport at 7 a.m. as follows. It departed from Blaina at 7 a.m. and arrived at Portobello at 9 a.m. and then departed from Portobello at 9:45 to arrive at Blaina for 11:45, with later trains departing from Blaina at 1:45 p.m. to arrive at Portobello for 3:45 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. from Portobello to arrive at Blaina for 6:30 p.m. From December 1851, the service was speeded up by 15 minutes. With the passenger service now open from Portobello to Blaina, work was put in hand to upgrade the section from Aberbeeg to Abervale. It was a full 2 years before the work was complete and the line passed for passenger traffic. The route opening on the 19th of April 1852 with intermediate stops at Cwm and Victoria. Trains now split at Aberbeeg and a new service was initiated at 7 a.m, 12 noon and 4:45 p.m, returning at 9 a.m, 2:15 p.m and 6:45 p.m. The new Newport terminus at Dock Street was completed by May 1852, but the Board of Trade Inspecting Officer refused to sanction use of the track between Portobello and Dock Street for passenger use, partly due to the houses along Cardiff Road not being sufficiently fenced off from the railway. All the objections were speedily resolved and Dock Street opened for traffic on the 4th of August 1852 when Portobello was closed.
Okie dokie. We are now going to one of the last stations of today, disused stations. There is nothing really to see now. It's been built on, there's a road there now. There's no line at all. But this is Dock Street station. And that's where we're heading to now, which is now what occupies the site is the Newport Magistrates Court. So we've got to be careful filming this one. Although we can, but it's a court. They're going to be like, oh yeah, terrorism, blah blah blah, court, witnesses and stuff like that, which, yeah, it's a grey area, but so this one is Dock Street. Station. Newport Dock Street Railway Station. So apparently it closed to passengers in 1880 and closed to goods in the 1960s. The station was a terminus of the Monmouthshire Railway and Canal Company's Western Valleys line again from Blaina to Abervale. The line itself had opened on the 21st of December 1850 with a temporary terminus at Portobello. By May 1855, the Western Valley line was connected to the Eastern Valley line at Mill Street Station, although Dock Street Station continued to act as a terminus. By January 1879, a connection was made from Park Junction to Gare Junction, just west of the Hellfield Tunnels on the South Wales Main Line. On the 12th of May 1880, all Western Valley trains were diverted via this new cord to High Street Station. London or North Western Railway services from the Sahawi branch followed on the 1st of June 1880. The station then closed to passengers. The line between Dock Street and Pillbank Junction remained open for goods traffic until 1991. So we're going to see if we can find some photos of it. So yeah, so it's not this way, it's further up. So we're going to walk up to it now, guys. It's literally up here.
Newport Dock Street Railway Station was one of 3 stations in central Newport, Monmouthshire. The station was opened on the 4th of August 1852 as the terminus of the Monmouthshire Railway and Canal Company's Western Valleys line to Blaina and Abervale. The line itself had opened on the 21st of December 1850 with a temporary terminus at Cortabella. By May 1855, the Western Valley Line was connected to the Eastern Valley Line at Mill Street Station, although Dock Street Station continued to act as a terminus. By January 1879, a connection was made from Park Junction to Gare Junction, just west of the Hillfield Tunnels on the South Wales Main Line. On the 12th of May 1880, all Western Valley trains were diverted via this new cord to High Street Station. London and North Western Railway services from the Sahawi branch followed on the 1st of June 1880. The station then closed to passengers. The line between Dock Street and Pillbank Junction remained open for goods traffic until 1991.
Hey guys, we're back. It's another day. Ran out of time. It started getting dark, so we're at Llanwern, and see what that says there. Station house. It's raining a little bit. Did not anticipate this. But yeah, we're just going to zoom into that sign.
Llanwern Station opened in 1850 by the South Wales Railway, and it was closed on the 12th of September 1960 in preparation for the building of the Llanwern Steelworks. It was closed completely on the 16th of April 1961. The Newport City Council Unitary Development Plan and Suter Rail Strategy Plan for the station to be reopened at the same time as the main line is re-signalled by 2012 fell through, but plans have recently been reopened for the plans for the station to be reopened. In recent developments, after the closure of the steelworks and the construction of housing on the site, Llanwern seems likely to be under consideration for some part in a broader seven-side parkway scheme to relieve the pressure of commuter traffic and its parking on the village of Roggett and Seventhall Junction. Planning permission was requested in 2019 by Transport for Wales as part of the preliminary plans for major events stabling the line at the site. The line will be used to situate infrastructure closer to demand for major occasions such as the Millennium Stadium events in Cardiff, but also serve as a line for testing new Construcciones y Auxilia de Ferrocarriles trains for South Wales Metro, which are being manufactured at the nearby Celtic Springs Business Park factory. The larger scheme, including the railway station and car park, will be submitted in a later application. Currently, the only remnants of the station are an old sign that says Llanwern GWR Station and a blank patch of land next to a gate by the mainline railway, which once occupied the former buildings for Llanwern Railway Station.
We're now walking through the premises which we believe is where Google says that the original site and the old railway maps show where the original site was for Llanwern Station. I don't think there's very much to see now, but we're having a look anyway. Apparently Balfour Beatty's here, it says. You can see this is the edge of the railway here. This area is under surveillance. As you can see where the old platforms would have been. I don't know whether we can get that way at all. There's not really anywhere else we can go from here. It comes to this gate, and obviously it's a crime to BTP are on there. It's a crime to pass by this point under the bylaws of the railways. It's a criminal offence to trespass on the railway. There's a few places where trespass is a criminal offence. Anywhere that's owned by Network Rail. If trespassing on there is trespassing on the railway. Bear in mind, it's not every railway, it's just railways that are managed by these guys. So if you're on an old mothballed line that's not really, it's owned by some private company or something, you're going to be fine. But if it's owned by Network Rail, that's where the issue arises.
because it's Network Rail property. You're trespassing on potentially an active railway, which this is. Even though there's no railway there, if I pass this gate, I'm breaking the law, really. So I'm not going to do that. Yeah, we're going to wait for a train to pass by. As you can see, there's a nice old wall there as well. I think that's a good point. I think we'll record the history for Lamworn afterwards. Yeah, not much left of the old station to this day. I mean, they could easily build a new one, you know. You could get that way, I suppose, but they put a fence up there as well, so you can't really. That's the trouble. You can't see very much from this end. You can see there's a little bridge over there. The final stations, Marsh's Turnpike Gate and Newport Mill Street, which have now been long covered by the A4042 dual carriageway. We'll start with Marsh's Turnpike Gate. Marsh's Turnpike Gate opened on the 1st of July 1852 as a temporary station opened by the Monmouthshire Railway and Canal Company. A part of Monmouthshire at the time, the station was opened on the 1st of July 1852 as a temporary southern terminus of the Monmouthshire Railway and Canal Company's Eastern Valleys line to Pontypool Crane Street. The Act of Parliament authorising the line had been passed in 1845, and works had begun soon afterwards, with a projected completion date of August 1849. However, due to the panic of 1847, works were abandoned, prompting disgruntled shareholders to enforce the Cardwell Clause in the Act, which prevented the distribution of the company's profits as dividends until such time as the line had been completed. Works restarted in 1851 with the contract for the ballasting and laying of the track from Pontypool to the Marshes Foundry at Newport, awarded to the contractors Giles and Morgan for £2,935. No booking office was provided at Marsh's Turnpike Gate, and passengers had to purchase their tickets at the Lock office on High Street. An inauguration ceremony was held on the 30th of June 1852. The cannons and band of the 48th Regiment were present at Marsh's Turnpike Gate for the departure of the first train at 2:30 p.m. Regular services on the line commenced on the 1st of July 1852 and consisted of 3 passenger trains each way at 7 a.m, 12 p.m, and 4 p.m. from Newport, and 10 a.m, 2 p.m, and 6 p.m. for the return journey. The line was worked by 2 new engines, numbers 17 and 18. With 2 composite coaches, 4 second-class and 6 third-class carriages provided by the Wrights of Birmingham. With the first section of the Eastern Valleys line open to traffic, work began on extending the line towards Newport Dock Street. This required the construction of a wooden viaduct to carry the line over the marshes, as well as the diversion of the Monmouthshire and Brecon Canal at the Doss Foundry. A new station was opened a quarter of a mile to the south at Newport Mill Street on the 9th of March 1853, allowing for the closure of the temporary Marsh's Turnpike Gate. Newport Mill Street was one of 4 stations in central Newport, Wales. It opened on the 9th of March 1853 after the closure of Marsh's Turnpike Gate. The station was the second terminus of the Monmouthshire Railway and Canal Company's Eastern Valleys line to Pontypool Crane Street, with an extension to Blenavon opening the following year. The line itself had opened on the 1st of July 1852, with an initial temporary terminus situated near Barrack Hill named Marsh's Turnpike Gate. The initial passenger service between Mill Street and Blenavon was limited up to 3 up and down daily services. Situated just north of the South Wales Main Line, next to Newport High Street Station, the station was small and cramped, being situated between a bend in the Monmouthshire and Brecon Canal and Marshes Road, now Shaftesbury Street. A booking office and platforms were provided, with the station's approach line crossing the marshes on a wooden viaduct. The contract for the construction of the station buildings was awarded to William Fleetwood in November 1852, and the works were completed by May 1853.